What's up, guys? Eric Bray, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Thursday, July the 6th. Been on the water quite a bit through the holiday weekend. Sorry, the report's a little bit late this week. Had 4th of July and stuff like that. Had stuff going on. Got some family stuff going on. But anyway, was on the water today and then left the camera at the house. So I'm shooting this in my office this afternoon. But we have been out every day. The bite's been pretty good. Got some different stuff going on. We'll get to that in a minute. As far as our lake level is concerned, we're at 915.59, essentially a 1.5 foot below normal pool. Core's been running every afternoon just to generate power. Hopefully we get some of this rain that's in the forecast, but if we don't, I don't see the lake coming up at all. We really need some rain, both for the crops and for the ground and for the grass and everything else, but the lake could use some fresh water in it. Water temperature, mid 80s pretty much everywhere, 84, 85, 86. You get up in the rivers, you'll find some upper 80s, even some low 90s. But overall, we're in the mid to upper 80s throughout the lake. And like I said, the bite's been pretty good. Best way to know what's going on, best way to stay on top of it, join Table Rock Fishing Intel. Get all that information that we put out every day. Daily reports, weekly reports, fishing forecasts, videos, all that stuff that helps you catch more fish on Table Rock Lake. New website, new look, a lot more information, a lot easier to access the information than it has been in the past. So check out TableRockFishingIntel.com if you haven't done so. As far as the fishing is concerned, most consistent bite's been with a drop shot rig or spoon, fishing deep, using shad-shaped cut tail, UV drop shot worm, Chomper's drop shot worm. For the most part, I'm fishing trees and dock cables, anywhere from 20, 25 foot deep down to about 30 or 35 foot deep. The gravel bite's really not been very strong. You can catch a few out on gravel when you get up in the rivers in that 20 to 30 foot range. But really the better bite down lake has been on trees and on the ends of big docks. Has really been catching them doing that. And it's the same deal with the spoon. The only thing I would add with the spoon or even the LS spin from Jewel is that if you see fish busting, you see big schools of shad with fish underneath them, you can rip a spoon through them or you can rip that LS spin through them, and you can certainly catch a few doing that as well. Other bites that are working, there are a few shallow bites working with like the Pee Wee HD football jig or the Pee Wee HD spider jig. Most of those are in the rivers, and most of those are on roll-off points where it's either gravel or rock and it rolls off pretty sharply into the channel or close to the channel. And most of those fish have been in that 20 to 25 foot range on those roll-offs. And it's just a matter of either getting on the deep side of it, throwing it and bringing it down, or getting on shallow side and throwing and dragging it up that roll-off. Had a couple of good days doing that last week up the river, so keep that in mind. Topwater bite is incredibly hit or miss. Had a good topwater day last week. One day went to the exact same spot the next morning and never had a fish blow up. So very hit and miss, very sketchy, don't know if you're going to get them, whether you're going to get bit or not. But I do leave one laying on my deck this time of year because there have been fish coming up chasing shad, especially if you get some clouds coming through, or if we do get this rain, I would certainly have one tied on. Shallow bite with like a buzzbait or a crankbait or something like that, I am struggling to find. I can catch a handful of fish on a buzzbait or a square bill, but I think we're either a little bit too early for that yet, or they're just not there. The best bite shallow like that is kind of on the ends of channel swings in the river where you've got some wood cover, whether it be a laydown or a log or something like that. I can catch a handful doing that, but it's not very consistent. You can hit one or two ends of channel swings and not get a bite, hit the third one and catch two fish. So it is a lot of moving around to get that bite going. And then the brush pile bite, it really seems like these fish are moving to deeper brush piles. Last couple of weeks we've been catching them in those 10 to 15 to maybe even 20 foot deep brush piles. Now it seems like they're moving to those 20 to 25 to 30 foot brush piles. And best baits I've had there have been either that new HD Pee Wee spider jig from Jewel or a big worm, one of the two. And you can't get more polar opposite than that. A 12-inch worm versus a jig that's barely 2.5 inches long. But those have been my two best bites coming out of those brush piles. And like I said, they are moving to the deeper brush piles. It seems like that 20 to 30 foot range are the better brush piles than the shallow piles right now. Unless, of course, you have a cloudy, windy day, and then heck, you can throw a chatterbait or something over top of them, probably catch them doing that as well if it's cloudy and windy. Guys, we are in July. We got past 4th of July, which if any of you guys were on the water with us over the weekend, folks are certainly using their boats. There was plenty of boat traffic out this weekend. Boat was out yesterday, out today, and the boat traffic really seems to be down. So I think it was just a holiday weekend kind of thing. Up the river yesterday, I think we saw 2 or 3 other pleasure boats. Most of the rest were fishermen. Today, in there around the mid-lake area, and really just did not see a whole lot. Not a whole lot of boats. And well, I got off the water at 10, but normally over the weekend we were seeing pleasure boats out by 8 o'clock, but did not see it the last couple of days. But, you know, it's summertime. We're going to have those boats. It's going to happen. But anyway, the bite's good. Bite should be getting better. Deep bite's going to solidify once we get a thermocline set up. If they wind up not running much water, that should happen any day now. Best way to know, best way to stay on top of it, join Table Rock Fishing Intel and get all that information we put out on a daily basis to help you catch more fish on Table Rock. If you're coming down, want to hire a guide, give me a call. Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743 or hit my website, focusfishing.com, and you can either shoot me an email or book online. Either way, I get back to you as soon as I can. Guys, thanks for watching the video again. Check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't done so. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.